All right, so welcome everyone to The Deep Dive,
Yes, welcome.
where we take a whole stack of really interesting information, kind of pile it all up,
Right.
and then we extract the key nuggets for you, our listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Today, we're venturing into some really fascinating territory, and this whole thing was sparked by a YouTube video that I saw.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's from Janek Waines's YouTube channel, Wisdom from North.
I love Janek Waines's Wisdom from North. Yeah.
Yeah, so the title of the video, it's kind of a long title,
Okay.
but it's March 21st. Everything shifts forever. The Pleiadians reveal humanity's two paths. Mind-blowing.
Wow, that is a very long title.
It is.
And very intriguing.
Very intriguing.
March 21st.
And it features this conversation with Orleane and Cullen Baird Smith.
Okay.
And their story, how they got into this whole thing, how they do what they do now, is really remarkable.
It is, and Janek Waines, she has such a great platform on Wisdom from North.
Right.
For these kinds of conversations and explorations, I think she does a really good job.
Right. Yeah, it's a great channel.
And Orleane and Cullen Baird Smith, I mean, their backgrounds are so interesting, She comes from a background in psychology.
Okay.
And he was both an anthropologist and an archaeologist.
Wow.
Before they, had a significant turn in their paths when they started conveying messages from beings they identify as Pleiadians but refer to collectively as LMA.
Right. And they've co-authored books, right?
They have.
And created these oracle cards.
Yes.
So they're really into it.
They are.
But what really struck me about their story is just how this whole thing started.
Oh, I'm ready to hear it.
It wasn't this sort of like gradual unfolding.
Okay.
It was really a sudden and quite unusual sequence of events.
Okay, so how does this all begin?
So it begins, the story goes, during Cullen's birthday celebration.
Okay.
They were celebrating, right?
Right.
And their shortwave radio, and they were, they live in this pretty remote mountain home.
Yeah.
Their shortwave radio just suddenly switched on.
Right.
And what made it even more strange was it turned on at the exact hour and minute of Cullen's birth.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like just a strange coincidence.
Very strange.
Yeah. So you think, okay, whatever,
Yeah.
maybe there's some weird, electrical thing or whatever.
Right, exactly.
But here's where it gets really weird.
Hey.
So this wasn't just like a one-off.
Uh-huh.
This happened every single day
Oh, wow.
for about a week, maybe 10 days,
Okay.
always at that precise time.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were, of course, trying to figure out what was going on.
Right.
They even went so far as to unplug the radio completely.
Okay.
It's still activated.
Oh, so it wasn't even plugged in.
Yeah, yeah.
That's weird.
That's when the nature of what was happening really shifted for them, I think.
Okay, so it was like it wasn't just an electrical thing with the radio.
Yeah.
It was something else.
It was something else going on.
Wow.
And it moved beyond the radio at that point.
Okay.
They started to actually receive thought messages.
Oh, wow.
And this wasn't like, hearing voices in their head or anything like that.
Okay.
It was these clear and distinct messages would just appear in their minds.
Oh, interesting. So they were like thoughts, but they knew it wasn't their own thoughts.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
And what was really wild is that these messages were identical,
Okay.
verbatim, in both Pia's and Cullen's minds at the exact same time.
That is so wild.
Yeah, can you imagine that?
I mean, I can imagine, but to actually experience that would be, I don't even know.
Right.
It would probably be a little freaky.
Yeah, just this same thought
Right, exactly.
appearing in your mind
Yeah.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
So,
And what kind of messages were they? Were they like, hello, we're here, or?
well, yeah, and the information they started receiving was incredibly wide-ranging and very complex.
Right.
Pia and Cullen mentioned that these thought messages, they covered topics like physics,
Okay.
like maybe offering insights into the fundamental laws of the universe.
Yeah.
Time travel,
Time travel.
which might suggest a nonlinear understanding of time.
Yeah.
Binary number systems,
Oh, wow.
which is the underlying language of computers and much of our modern technology.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Mathematics, advanced medicine,
Wow.
like possibly exploring, holistic approaches beyond what our current paradigms are.
It's like they were being given all the secrets of the universe or something.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And the sheer volume and just the rapid pace of this information flow.
Okay.
It became so intense that they actually started recording their nightly sessions.
Okay.
just to keep track of it all.
Wow. So it was like a nightly download.
Yeah, yeah. They'd
Yeah.
go to sleep or however they were doing this, and they would just get information dumped into their heads.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could even retain half of that, that would be incredible.
I know, right? And then it was like, okay, it's coming in too quickly to just remember it all.
Right.
We got to start recording.
Okay.
And it seems like the communication wasn't limited to just the radio
Okay.
and these thought messages either.
Oh, so there's more.
Yeah, there's more. So the story takes another pretty interesting turn.
Okay.
They were attending a medical conference,
Okay.
and something very similar to the radio thing happened, but with the television in their hotel room.
Okay.
It turned on at the very same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the same time that the radio incidents were happening back home.
Goodness.
Yeah. And the message they received this time was very direct.
Okay.
The communication wasn't restricted to the radio.
Yeah.
It could occur through any electrical device.
Or even as what they termed a sensational nudge,
Okay.
which they described as, a very strong feeling or intuition or
Oh, interesting.
almost like a direct knowing.
Okay.
That moment seems to have been a real turning point for them.
Yeah.
It essentially marked a really significant shift in their professional lives.
Okay, so what did they do?
Well, they actually moved away from their established careers in psychology and anthropology and archaeology.
Wow, so they left their old lives behind
Yeah.
to fully embrace these roles as what they now call interstellar communicators.
Yeah, interstellar communicators and authors.
And authors, wow.
Yeah, dedicated to sharing these messages from LMA.
So their whole world just completely changed
Yeah,
based on these experiences.
yeah.
Wow.
And it wasn't solely about auditory and mental communication.
Okay.
They also reported having visual experiences with the Pleiadians.
Oh, wow, so they actually saw them.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and the first instance they shared was seeing these small blue beings about 5 feet tall walking together.
Okay.
That's a very distinct image to have in your mind.
Yeah. Small, blue, 5 feet tall,
Yeah.
walking together.
Yeah.
And then, so that was the first time they saw them? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so they were small blue beings.
Okay.
But the nature of these appearances actually evolved.
Oh, okay.
So later they witnessed them as these blue swirls of energy
Okay.
during another medical conference,
Oh, wow.
present within the lecture room itself.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then they had this really vivid image they describe
Okay.
of 6 blue deers
6 blue deer.
floating in their driveway during a snowstorm.
Oh, my goodness. That sounds like something out of, a fantasy novel or something.
Right?
6 blue deer floating in a snowstorm. That's wild.
Yeah. And they did actually communicate with LMA about these visual manifestations.
Yeah.
And the explanation that they received was that the Pleiadians, they can manifest in any form they choose,
Okay.
and that they often select the color blue as a symbol of trust and safety.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Blue, yeah, it's a calming, trustworthy color.
Right. And they also recounted witnessing other forms of energy as well,
Okay.
including what they described as the angel of light.
The angel of light. Wow.
Yeah.
And what was that like?
It appeared as this large, brilliant flash of white light,
Okay.
accompanied by the sense of wings.
Wow. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like an amazing experience. So it sounds like they've had so many different experiences.
Yeah.
And they all sound very profound and, I guess, life-changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's definitely influenced their understanding of the universe and their place within it, It's,
All right.
it's just, wow. I mean, it's so interesting to think about.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wonder about what else is out there,
Right.
If they're having these experiences, then what else is possible?
Yeah, I mean, and given their really solid academic backgrounds,
Right.
it really does make you wonder what their perspective on this whole thing is.
Yeah.
This dramatic shift in their lives.
Right. Because they're not, these are very intelligent people who dedicated their lives to studying, the human mind
Exactly.
and archaeology and anthropology.
Yeah, they both were very clear in the interview, though,
Okay.
that there was never any doubt in their minds about the reality of these experiences. It
Right.
wasn't something they questioned as being a figment of their imagination.
Yeah.
It felt undeniably real,
Right.
and it was consistent.
Yeah.
It was something that they were experiencing, and they knew it was real.
Wow.
And it's interesting, too, right? Their initial choices of psychology and anthropology and archaeology,
Yeah.
it seems significant.
Yeah.
They both expressed this strong underlying desire to be of service and to contribute to raising human consciousness.
Right.
That's something that came up a lot.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that they had actually maintained a connection to other realms throughout their academic careers,
Okay.
but that the Pleiadians specifically didn't start communicating through them
Okay.
until this later period in their lives.
So they'd always been interested in these things, but it wasn't until later that they actually started communicating directly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it's interesting. They felt like their professional training actually provided a valuable foundation for their current work as communicators.
Okay.
So P is deep understanding of the human psyche.
Yeah.
And Cullen's experience studying diverse cultures
Right.
and different perspectives, it really seemed to equip them with this unique ability to process and convey these messages.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're dealing with something so far out, I guess,
Right.
you need to be able to ground it in a way that people can understand.
Right. And a recurring theme from LMA
Okay.
was this message of reassurance
Okay.
that there is fundamentally nothing to fear.
That's a good message.
Yeah. And Pia and Cullen, they felt that their professional paths
Okay.
focused on helping people understand themselves
Yeah.
and overcome fear
Yeah.
really aligned well
Right.
with the overall message they were receiving and sharing.
Right. It's all kind of coming full circle.
Yeah, it's like their diverse backgrounds really converged in this unexpected but meaningful way.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So to kind of bring it all together, the journey of Pia Orleane and Cullen Baird Smith
Yeah.
into communicating with the Pleiadians, it began with this truly inexplicable event.
Right. The radio.
The radio
Turning on.
turning on. Yeah.
On his birthday.
Yeah, on his birthday.
Oh.
And then it unfolded into this direct shared thought communication
Right.
and these visual manifestations.
And these crazy visual manifestations.
Yeah, blue deer.
Yeah.
Blue deer floating in the snow.
Yeah. It's a wild story.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting too
Yeah.
that LMA's stated reason for not appearing in a consistently physical form
Oh, that's an interesting point.
is to avoid being deified
Right.
or worshipped.
Yeah, because that's happened so many times throughout history, right?
Right, right.
Where people have these experiences, they see something,
Yeah.
and then they turn it into, a religion or a cult or whatever.
Right.
And that's not what this is about.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be worshipped.
Right.
Their aim is to empower humanity.
Right, to help us.
To help us, yeah.
To empower us.
To foster our recognition of ourselves as capable
Yeah,
and aware.
yeah.
Cosmic citizen.
Cosmic citizens, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With our own innate abilities and connections.
Yeah, so we're not just these separate beings on this planet.
Right.
We're part of something much bigger.
Mm.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And the video we delved into, it also touches upon this Pleiadian perspective on the times we're currently in.
Okay.
And it suggests that it's a very significant period of energetic shifts
Okay.
and crucial choices for humanity,
Okay.
particularly around March 2025.
Oh, okay.
They highlight this as this potential turning point,
Okay,
this
yeah.
possible end to a cycle of challenges.
Okay.
And, it leads us to a question for you, our listeners.
Yeah.
As you've heard about Pia and Cullen's experiences
Yeah.
and the messages they share,
Yeah.
how might considering these perspectives broaden your own understanding of reality?
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Because it really makes you think about what's possible, and it makes you question, what we think we know about the world.
Right.
Because if these things are possible, if these beings exist,
Right.
and they're communicating with people,
Yeah.
then what else is out there?
Yeah. What else is out there?
Yeah,
exactly.
What else don't we know?
Yeah. Could there be influences at play that we don't typically perceive?
Right.
And what possibilities might exist for connection and understanding
Yeah.
beyond our everyday sensory experiences?
Yeah, beyond what we can see and touch and hear.
Right.
It's really mind-blowing
Yeah.
to think about.
And if you'd like to explore this further, we highly recommend checking out the full interview
Yeah, definitely.
with Pia Orleane and Cullen Baird Smith
Yeah.
on Janekwane's Wisdom from North YouTube channel.
Yep.
And you can also find more in-depth information about their work,
Okay.
including their books and their oracle cards,
Okay.
on their shared website, which is laura.com,
Laura.com.
and on Pia Orleane's personal website,
Okay.
which is piaorleane.com.
Okay.
And as you continue your day,
Yeah.
maybe just consider this, right?
Yeah.
How might embracing the possibility of realities beyond our immediate grasp
Yeah.
open up new ways of understanding ourselves
Yeah. Right.
and our place in the cosmos?
I think it's definitely something worth pondering.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, what an episode.
yeah, wild stuff.
That was a really wild deep dive.
Yeah.
I'm going to be thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch you next time
Yeah, see you next time.
on The Deep Dive.
Bye.